All right, welcome back. On RealCopStoriesVideos.com, we have 355 stories. Look them up, patrol gangs, all my babies. Now we're having people send me questions. You want to send me a question, email me at rsbcopstories@gmail.com, okay? Ask me a question, I'll answer it either here on the air, or I can actually write back if you want on that site and answer your question. All right, so now we're going on the segment of supervision. I had good, I had bad, and I'm still going bad here. Bad supervisors, okay? Right now, since it's a new segment, I've been on the job maybe 5 years now, four and a half years, working in patrol. And you get some supervisors, I mentioned earlier, bad ones who like to write paper on you. Then you get incompetent ones, and I'll tell you what happens is, all it takes is a few years on the department, 4 or 5 years, depending on where you work. Take a written exam, pass the exam, pass it. If you pass it high enough, it's good for you. Then you go take an oral interview, and then the oral interview grade and the written grade are combined, and that's your score, and then you put on the list. Obviously the highest scores is first up and then all the way down, okay? Then they make so many each month. They'll make, with a large department like us, they'll probably make, oh gosh, 15 or 20 sergeants a month, okay? Huge, huge. Because we have a lot of turnover, a lot of sergeants become lieutenants, so a lot of movement. So all it takes is write a written exam, study the paperwork, and take an oral. Now if you write a really high score on paper, then if you have a lousy oral because you're incompetent kinda, or you don't have enough years in the job where it shows, you can still make sergeant because your written score is so high. Call those POGs, office people. In other words, they write high and they oral low, but they make sergeant because you average them together. They've changed that now, where it's more fair for the guys that are in the field, because the guys who are in the field don't have time to study. The guys that write high written scores usually have jobs inside where they spend the whole day studying. Okay, it's not fair. So it took me years to figure that out. So you get a guy that comes out, maybe 6 years on the department, we've got 4 or 5, and he is a good test taker. He doesn't know how to do any kind of supervision, okay? Sure, he was a policeman, but who knows where he was a policeman? There's all kinds of jobs. You can finish your probation like I did, and then I go to the field. These guys finish probation, they want to promote, they go inside. They find administrative jobs inside, which I think shouldn't be doing that. And so they sit in there and do that for 3 or 4 years and study and study and study, and they pass the exam where I can't study because I'm busy working. I'm keeping the field, I'm keeping you guys safe every day. I don't have time to open up a book. I'm busy. Okay, so that's disparity. So I'm leading to something here. So one night we heard 1 month that we had a new sergeant, okay? And he comes to roll call. It looks like he could have been a fat English teacher, okay? Nothing against English teachers, I shouldn't insult them. But he didn't look like a cop. Sure as heck didn't look like a supervisor, okay? And he introduced himself, had a little high voice, I'm so-and-so, that's great, okay, fine, who cares? So, that night, first, we get to a radio call, my partner and I, and my supervisor wasn't available, he's doing something else. So we have some suspects here, and it was a forger, and we have some phony documents at a store, and we caught him outside and all that, okay, fine. So we've never had a forger before, so I'm thinking, what are we going to do with this? So we're talking to each other. He pulls up. Oh, great, a sergeant. Perfect. Okay. Yeah, no. So he comes over, what do you got? I said, oh, we got this, and this. I said, what do you think we should do? Okay, he's our supervisor. He's not only our supervisor, he's a supervisor. You go to them when you're not sure because they're supposed to lead you, okay? They're supposed to make a decision. That's a big D. Ooh, okay. That's what you go to them for. I mean, when I became one, I expected to be asked questions, and I expected to know the answer. I researched to make sure I knew the answer. The last thing you can do as a supervisor go, no, that's not the answer, okay? So what do you think we should do? And I actually told him this is the first time we've come up with this kind of investigation. We don't know everything, He goes, well, When I see that look, reminds me of a politician. You ask them a question, and they start looking up at the attic and looking around like, oh, wait a minute, why is that such a problem? Okay? He goes, what'd you do last time? What? I'm like, we were like the same amount of time on the job, my partner and I. He had a year on us. I almost said, didn't you hear what's that movie? Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Okay? What part of this did you not hear when I said, I don't understand, we've never done this before. What should we do? We don't have the last time. This is not difficult stuff here, okay? And I'm trying to be nice. I go, oh, Sarge, I said, we never had a new one like this. What do you think? Oh, Watch me. He goes, oh, come on, okay? Well, this is what you can do. Okay, now something must have kicked in his little index card where he put away things to do and how to defer. The little monkey sitting there, he put it on my shoulder. Well, I'll just take him downtown. Okay, downtown. Where? I've done this before. He goes, let me think. There's that face again. Oh my gosh, I'm thinking, I made this guy a supervisor in charge of men and women. He doesn't know nothing. Okay. Well, I'll just go down there to detective headquarters, which is a 24-hour office that they use to catch all. And they'll tell you what to do. So we get in the car with this guy, and I thank you. And as we're heading out, I don't remember who was driving. My partner and I talking to each other like, I hate to sound, I think it might have been my partner says, I hate to sound like I'm trying to belittle this guy, but we could have thought of that. Because that thing down there is always there. If you don't know what to do, you can always call them. Let me get on a side note here. Okay, another side trade. I told you this before. They had a body, we have a river that separates one division from another, the LA River, right down the middle. They had a guy jump, committed suicide, they think, off the bridge into the riverbed, okay? He's laying across the middle of the river. There's a little trough there, so like this deep, about this wide. If you ever watch Grease, when they're having a big race for cars, it's down the middle of the river. It's just it's like a trough where the water runs down when it's dry, and then of course when there's rain, it fills it up. Okay, he fell across that. So both divisions roll. I rolled there too, I was there that night. And they're sergeant are discussing who's going to handle the investigation. Not sure if it's a suicide or homicide. And they're arguing, it's yours, it's mine. Because the body's laying across, here's the line, here's legs and head. He's laying right like this. Okay. So what did they do? They called that unit I told you about. They had to come out and look at it, and then they had to call somebody else to make a decision because they found out that here's what you get a college degree for. Wherever the head is, gets the body, okay? So the losing side said, Dad, it's yours now. The other half, all these guys over here, they just took off. It's not mine anymore. They're gone. So this is where we went. So we go down there. They say, oh, yeah, they know what they're doing because that's what they do. Go down here, go down 2 floors, go over here, go to, Bunko Forgery. Oh, great. Go down there, there's a guy, on-call guy down there. Oh, he knows what to do. This is great. And we finished our assignment. It's like, whew, because we were there a couple of hours, but, he gave us approval. We booked the body, Now, if I was a supervisor, I wouldn't have done what he said. But say you don't know anything and you send the officers off to there. When they get back, I would have called them out to the side somewhere, would have called me and my partner and say, what happened? Just so I can learn what to do as a supervisor. Put this in your memory bank so later on, when somebody walks up and says, what do we do, Sarge? You go, this is exactly what you do. You do this, and because that's how they learn. But some of these guys, they think they know everything. Once they put those stripes on, I know everything. No, nobody knows everything. Okay, even Charlie Beck doesn't know everything, and you don't know everything. Okay, everything's so specialized anyway. So that's what I call incompetence, and you get a few of those. I'll tell about more of those later on as I get to the thing. Okay. Now move on. 3 or 4 years later, I changed divisions. I went to another division, and now I was top step officer, and I had rookies working with me. And we were lucky enough to make a traffic stop on a lady who was high on PCP. I had written search warrants before, so I went to the district attorney, called him up. I prepared a warrant. We served the warrant. Okay, successful. 4 or 5 guys. We got a half gallon of PCP. Very good case. Okay, very good case. Nobody got hurt. Everybody's fine. Everybody goes to jail. Narcotics called. They gave us a commendation. That was a good thing all the way around. A couple days go by. I come back to work. Get stopped by my supervisor there. Took me off to the side and just chewed me upside down the other. Okay, you don't do that here. You answer radio calls. We don't do that. We don't do this. We don't do that. And I'm like, well, I'm trying to. And now he has 11 years on. I've got 9 years on. So we're pretty close to time on the job. And I'm almost a supervisor. He is a supervisor. So he didn't like the fact that I'm actually firing back on him. I go, well, wait a minute. He said, this is, I'm trying to explain, we had this and this. I don't care. You don't do that ever again. I rate you. I write your valuations. Oh my gosh. He's telling me not to do police work. This is police work. Police work is not just handling radio calls. It's everything. Family disputes, neighbor disputes, lost barking dogs, lost children. It's everything. So you just do what you do that day, and the next day you do something else. It's just, he was just chewing me out. Oh my God, I'm standing there to him. And I'm not taking it. I'm just standing there nodding. Okay. And I was new there, and I got handpicked by the captains to come down here. This is one of those cases where they wanted a Latino officer, and they were trolling for a bunch of us, and like 15 of us went in there, and I got the spot, and here I am. Okay, handpicked. So that evening, I'm coming out of coming out to go to the street, and here comes one of the captains. How's it going? And that's why you said before in my videos, that's when you pull your belt tight the next notch and you tell him what's going on. I said, well, you don't want to hear it. He goes, what? Now he's serious. Now I'm outside. I told him I got my butt chewed. He goes, what? And everything I'm saying, he just looked on his face like, what? I mean, it was just shock on his face. I go, so I tell you what, Captain, I said, you brought me down here, but if I'm going to get my butt chewed for doing police work, I said, you can have these stripes you gave me, and I'm going to go back to where I came from. Okay? Because where I came from, they write accommodations for this. Over here, they're chewing me out for this. And what kind of an example does this show for my recruit out of the academy to see me get my butt chewed? And you see he's shutting down. I'm not going to do that. Oh my gosh, because he doesn't want to get his butt chewed either. So it's a domino effect, you know. But I'll do whatever you say. But if this is going to continue, I'm gone. No, you're not going anywhere. This is crazy. So he was going home, turned around, right into the station. Well, I found out later on from my lieutenant, who was a really good guy, that he walks in and goes, where's Sergeant so-and-so? He's over there. Here comes the captain. I need to talk to you. And off they went to his office. Hey! I heard it was some serious butt chewing, okay? And so next day I come to work, and the lieutenant's got a big smile on his face. Come here. He goes, you've been assigned a new supervisor. And he just had to be a Jewish supervisor. Nice guy. Oh my gosh. Okay. Talk about completely different from the other guy. And what happened? He goes, then he tell me what I told you. But he got his butt chewed. And I go, okay, well, I didn't mean that to happen. No. He says, we don't like that sergeant anyway. He's ragging on the troops. He's jumping on them for doing minor things, just like I talked about earlier. Or this is not making, again, we're not making widgets. Everything's fluid here. Everything's gray. There's not, you got to be loose here. You can't just be saying, well, you did this and this and this, and then just burn the officers for it. No, you can't do that. Write paper. No, everything's different. If it does something really bad, yeah, you might well have to, but most of the time you just talk to an officer and he's fine. We're all adults here, So of course, that night at roll call, we were all at roll call. There's 40 of us in there. And that sergeant comes in and he looks at me and just looks away. And, okay, now, wait a minute. You're mad at me. You chewed me. And then I told my captain who asked me how it's going that I didn't like it. And then he chews you and you get ticked off me. And now you're working inside. I didn't do that. The captain did. And you're mad at me? Maybe because I dabbed you off? I don't know. But I didn't appreciate getting my butt chewed for doing a really good investigation. I thought it was tremendous. I don't want to brag, but it was pretty darn good. Okay, but that's the way it goes. But you get these supervisors that just do this. I don't know why. I really don't know why. So that was a bad one, and the captain took care of that. How am I time? Looking at my lady over here. Okay, I got another good one coming up. It's a good one, man. It's sexist sergeant coming up. So we'll see you a little bit. Be right back. Okay.